Hi, and welcome to Cool Toys. If you've caught an episode before, you know this show is about all the cool toys that you really want and you probably gotta hide from your wife and your not cool friends. So, today, whole house audio. Unfortunately, something you can't really hide, but everybody likes it. The problem is that it's really expensive, but we're gonna show you a way around that. First though, I wanna take a look at this. This is the C7 headlight in our original Jeep Wrangler Unlimited, and it unfortunately has failed. Let me show you the other picture here. That picture right there, you notice that the center dot is now not lit up. In the episode, we had to make some custom wiring. The manufacturer liked that idea, and they now include that custom wiring in the kit. So we have a new kit coming with the newer, better projector headlights with halos and their custom kit. So we'll put that in an upcoming episode along with a couple other cool toys for our Jeep, and we'll show you how they work. We've got the cameras now, so we can even show you how they look at night. Now, whole house audio, one of my favorite toys in my house. This is a pretty decent, cool toy. It's a little Brookstone blue speaker. It's got a dot in the front, turn it on, it makes a noise, connects to your phone, and off you go. But if you're outdoors at the beach and loud places, these aren't as good as the old style boom boxes that we used to carry around, on our shoulders like that in the 70s, 80s, I'm not that old. But there's a better solution for your house, and that is whole house audio. It starts with a hub like this. I can have 4 different sources. You can also input from other zones. If you have another 4 source, you can daisy chain into these Cat 5s. These little jacks are for infrared, so you can use a remote in the room and have it come out of here and control the source. And then these Cat 5s are the jacks that go out to the keypads. This goes somewhere in the center of your house, usually hidden behind your stereo system, so that you can use the same music sources that you use with your stereo. It's a very cool setup. And because you're not running speaker wire from the stereo to every single room in the house, you're saving a ton of money on copper. And if you're installing it yourself, a lot of labor, because Cat 5 and Cat 6 is much easier to run around the house than speaker wire. Speaker's heavier, much more expensive wire than Cat 5 or Cat 6. And that brings us to the keypad. Now, if you watched the last segment about the Amazon Dot, you'll know we already talked about the keypad a little bit, but I'll show it to you again. The toughest part, really, if you're not a telephone guy or a data networking guy and you don't understand what Cat 5 and Cat 6 is, the wire has 4 colors. So you can see right here we have blue, orange, green, brown. Very easy system. It comes with the tools that you need. You just need a flathead and a Phillips screwdriver and a keyhole saw or a drywall saw to cut this into the wall. And I'm going to show you exactly how we do that very soon in this episode. So the last piece, the speaker. For today's episode, we're going to install this last zone. We've already got 3 installed in the house. They are this one in the bathroom, this one in the garage, kind of hidden behind the refrigerator, not too pretty yet. And then finally, we have this one in our editing studio. So this speaker that we chose is an OSD. It's not the highest sensitivity. And if you recall from the last episode, sensitivity gives you basically a gauge of how much music you're going to get per watt. So if my little keypad here, now remember, this is a self-amplified system. It has a maximum of about 15 watts coming out of here. Some of the better ones will go to 20, because how it works is 70 volt DC is sent through the line, and there's a micro amplifier in here that converts it to music. So normally you want a very high sensitivity speaker, like 93 dB sensitive. That gets you the most sound for the least cost, or I should say the most sound for the lowest number of watts, and normally for the lowest cost of the whole system. But sometimes you don't need that much sound. We're going into a small bathroom. We want to get what's called a stereo imaging speaker, and that is what this one is. So the first thing you notice, we have our little cutout ring that shows us exactly the size that we're going to cut out, and I'm going to show you a couple of tricks when we do the installation here in a few moments. The second part you're going to notice about this speaker is that we picked one that's trimless, meaning that it goes right over the hole. The speaker grill covers the entire thing. Now let me pop this off. I just simply twist it and remove it, and we've got a little dust cover. And now you see the 2 tweeters. There's a right and a left, which means if we flip it over, we've got two different speaker connectors. There's a right and a left. So again, two tweeters, two speaker connectors, gets us all the music. And in a small bathroom, this one is very inexpensive, 89 dB. Not super efficient, but efficient enough to give us great sound, even in the shower. So let's go install an A-Bus Zone. But wait, before we rush off and install the A-Bus, I need to show you one quick trick. This is an old installer trick where we just use a hanger, just like this, and we're gonna lay it about the size of the speaker grill, and we're gonna cut it. Bigger dikes like this are better. So if we come through, we're gonna make one end where our hands go, and then we run it about halfway across the speaker, and we make the second cut. Very simple. So now what happens is we stick this end into the ceiling and we spin it, and you'll notice it's a little bit bigger than the speaker. So as we're spinning it in the ceiling, we can find out if there's any joists or anything else up there. Stud finders don't catch everything. This will hit everything up there and we'll be good to go. Okay, we've made the template smaller to match the size of the actual speaker instead of doing the whole paint ring. Now, we want to go somewhere between these two lights up here. So I'm going to use the typical stud finder. All right, so we got nothing with the stud finder. So we're just going to double check tapping it out. We find something about here and we find something about here. So we want to go about halfway between the lights to make it measure. So we'll check that, and we're at 25 inches. So that would give us a very simple 12.5. And if we roll that out, we'll be somewhere about here. So I'm going to take my little piece of hanger that I cut earlier, and up it goes through. And see, we're hitting something right there. So we know there's something in the way. So we'll come over a little bit. And again, now we've got an easy hole to putty. Very simple fix. And maybe we need to come over just a hair more. Now, if you want to do it easier, you can take a small drill bit and just pop the holes. But I'm just trying to go with one tool in the hand, and I'm also going as inexpensively as possible. There are very fancy tools that will do this for us, but we're not doing that today, are we? So we're just gently turning that so we can get it to, and we're still hitting the same thing, but in a very different place. So we'll come over another 2 inches, and now we're not hitting anything. So we'll come back down, we'll draw our template, and we'll cut away. Okay, so we've got our template, we've got our Sharpie, we know our marks. We're going to put it centered about here. Draw our circle that we're going to use to cut. So now, before we cut, safety glasses, because we don't want sheetrock in our eyes. One last double check. And because this is the side where we started hitting something, I'm going to make my first little test cut right here, because I'm pretty sure the joists from going in the attic are going this way. And nothing. Beautiful thing. So here we go. So here's our speaker, and again, we're just going to screw it, tighten it this way, and make sure we don't pop these and break them, and that's it. Flip it over. Now these two we want to separate to get a little stereo separation, make some cool sound. So we'll put that up, and I'll run it in line with the rest of the room. It's a little snug, which is good. Slows down, gets snug, and we are done. The last step is the dust protection and the speaker cover. And I don't really care about a little bit of white sheetrock dust on the speaker as it is. It's fine, so I'm not even going to clean it. And there we go, speaker's installed. All right, so here it is. We crawled up in the attic. We ran some 2 speaker wires. Remember, this is a dual stereo speaker, so 2 speaker wires, 16 gauge, single pair, so 2 of them. and a Cat 6 wire. We drilled a hole right up here, brought it right down, and we cut this little hole using the template for this piece. Now, when you get one of these, this is a little Carlon, $2 at Home Depot. You'll see 4 little pinholes. If you flip it around, put it on the wall, and mark those pinholes, you get the perfect square. And the tighter you can make that square, the better this fits. So we reach in, and lo and behold, look at that. There's our wire. We cheated a little because you can see this light switch is right here. So we knew we had an open chase coming down. Even if there's a fire break, we know a place and where we can drill down. We know the exact measurements. Makes it very simple from the attic side. So pull it through. We're going to put this in. Notice it's nice and snug, which is what we want exactly. I'm going to do it the fast way here with a quick drill. And you see it catches on the wire, so we want to watch that carefully. We'll go ahead and do the speaker wires first. So you remember on here, we have this little plug that pops off, makes life very easy. And you will need this little teeny flathead screwdriver to tighten everything up. So, and if you look at it, you see minus, minus, plus, plus. And just in case you can't read that, it's also a little bit better written here at the bottom. It says minus, plus, minus, minus, plus. So you know that the grounds go together in the middle. Makes life pretty easy when you wire these up. So I'm twisting these, trying to get them nice and tight because we also don't want any fray wires to jump across and touch the other side and short out. So it's the other danger with this type of wiring. And you'll see here I made one just a hair long, so I'm going to trim it really fast. Okay, so now we're going to punch the Cat 6 wire down in this little area. So like I said, if you look at it, you can see it's the stripes going through. So we'll go with, we want the blue first to match the blue pair. And it's a pretty straightforward process. So we'll do the white, blue, blue, white. Meaning, if you look at this, I don't know if we can get a close-up in that enough, but you'll notice that the one with more white is first. So we'll do that all the way across. So the orange will do the same thing. So, and then once I've got all these set in place, I'm just going to run the punch down tool straight across them. Now, you don't have to buy one of these tools. It's one of the great things. It actually comes with a little simple punch down, or you can buy a little 20-cent thing. This tool, you can see it's old, broken, still works, so I keep it very simply. I'm just punching down, and I'm being cautious to make sure the cut side is up so I don't cut the wire off at the other side. Not that I've ever done that on a job, but it does happen. So I'm just punching down here, and the cut side should, if I punched it clean, these should be pretty well done. Any one that doesn't come off with just a little bit of a flicker, the orange is still there, so we're going to give it another double punch just to make sure we've got it clean, and there it is, it's in. So simple as this. Plug it in, put it back in. An A-bus system, the complete room, full installation, speaker, keypad. Now let's go to the back and take a look at the big bundle of wires that connects the entire house, where we're going to connect the 4 zones to the hub. All right, so now you've seen the rest of the rooms get installed. So now it's time to put our A-bus amplifier into play. So very simply, we have the rooms hooked up. We have our new bathroom hooked up. And you can barely see up here, there's a Cat 6 patch panel. Easy way, this bundle of wires goes to all the rooms in the house. There's television, there's different things that we can do with it. So we need to power this up, and you'll see the rooms that are already powered and connected will light up. So you can see we haven't got the bathroom fully configured. We'll have to go back and double check that. Now you see our 4 sources. So we'll bring in the Amazon Echo Dot, and we will plug this in to source 1. Keeping in mind that we have a very limited ability to run the power to full volume. Now, the next toy, and this is one of my favorite CoolToys, but crazy expensive, is the Request IMC. That'll be the next one we hook up. That will go to zone 2 actually, because I'll use it more than normal. And then we'll go to zone 3 with our iPhone, And that's it. That's all it takes to install an A-bus. No giant amplifier, no racks, you're ready to go. Cool toy. So there you have it. We've installed a complete room of A-bus. We did that 3 more times. We have a whole house audio system. Now, if you use zone 2 out of a Denon system, you could do that same thing and add multiple zones of audio outside, front yard, backyard, not just the garage like we did in this example. So, if you've got a cool toy that lives up to those standards, tell us about it. Send it to us if you can, because we want to test everything out there that's cool. We want to know about it and we want to tell the world about it. Until next time, thanks for watching Cool Toys. I'm Scott. Have a cool day.